Welcome to the Parts and Labor Motorcycle Podcast. It's brought to you by Biltwell Inc. We're going to dive deep into anything motorcycle related. We're going to introduce you to some of the most interesting friends we know, and we might even try to solve a problem or two. You got a question? That'd be cool. Send us a voice recording or an email. pod@biltwellinc.com. pod@biltwellinc.com. And we're back in studio today. Parts and Labor Podcast. Bryan Olivas. Is that how you say your last name?
Olivas.
Olivas.
Yeah, like
okay.
Olivas alone.
Like Olivas alone. Yeah. That's perfect. Friend Bryan, he's on the board today. Our producer, Friend Bryan, he just told me that I'm mean to guests sometimes, and I told Flynn, life is mean sometimes. You know, suck it up. Yeah. Get over it. I don't have to worry about being mean to you today, Bryan. You're a tough guy.
Sometimes.
Bryan is in studio today with us because he's a very, very fast Hooligan racer. That's how I got to be familiar with this guy. He charges on actually anything two wheels, BMX, dirt bikes, and the sportster Hooligan class. He's been known to get up on the box a couple times.
A few times.
Bryan, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Well, we ran out of good guests, and so we've
had to back up and
punt. Yeah. Way to get some.
I'll take
some
the
back
spot.
Burner.
I'll take the spot.
I'm just kidding. Actually, I've had a couple Hooligan guys out here, or Tyler. Ravi and Clay, not really Hooligan guys, but young rippers. But
rippers for sure.
Yeah, rippers for sure, and good guys. You know, same with Tyler. That's why but I think you fall in that category. That's why I wanted to have you out here. You are my friend. My wife's friends with your wife, but I don't know a whole bunch about you. Where did you grow up?
I was born in Fallbrook, California, and I grew up in Hemet. So not the best place to grow up, but
well, it depends.
Yeah, I mean,
what you're into.
It does, and it depends on if you listen to your parents or not.
Yeah,
you know what not to do. So,
did you listen to your parents?
I did. I was a good kid.
Yeah, I could tell you. You got no tattoos.
Yeah,
good job.
I got them on my legs and places you can't see them. So,
okay, smart. Yeah. No job stoppers.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you grew up in Hemet. Yep. Born in Fallbrook, grew up in Hemet.
Yep.
Okay, that's pretty good. 951. Flatten out that bill a little bit, then, bud.
Know. Come on. Well, you know, I was born on a farm, raised on a farm, so that's where that sticks.
That made you tough and made you resilient.
Yeah, hard work and keeps the sun in your eyes, and
yeah. Well, you got black socks on, so at least you got that part right.
Black socks on.
Yeah. Same, man. 951. If you don't like it, get out of here.
Exactly.
So you grew up in Hemet. How old are you now?
I am 35.
35.
Yeah.
Just a youngster.
Yeah, I looked like I was 50 a week ago with my beard, but we got rid of that thing.
You look like you're from the Ozarks with that beard.
Sometimes it gets too much, and I felt homeless, so I just had to go.
As a guy that has 5 chins and you only have 1 or 2, like, you should run the shave thing for a minute because you look fine. I don't got a chin, so I gotta define it with facial hair, but you don't have to. So just stick with what you got.
Get back on the Hooligan; it'll get rid of those things. Yeah,
I'm never doing Hooligan stuff again. Yeah. You know, I'm one and done. By the grace of God, we raced the Nora on a Sportster. It was incredibly difficult. I was by far the slowest rider on our team.
But you did it, right? That's all that matters.
I did it. We did it. Bill's dad put together the team, or Flynn's dad, Bill, put together the team. We had a great team. We had 0 mechanicals. We actually had real strong riders. We had the wild card was Chris Moeller. Shout out Chris Moeller, S&M Bicycles. Yeah. He only knows one speed, which is kill it, you know, and that was kind of what everyone was afraid of every day is Chris killing the bike or the days that he rode.
Yeah.
That being said, man, one of the highlights of my life was racing the Nora on a Sportster. It was definitely exciting and scary.
How long is that race?
Every year it varies, but it was 1,300 miles when we did it. So we probably had close to 1,000 miles off-road and 300 miles of transit, you know, on the road where they put you on the street. But in Baja, sometimes the street is worse than the off-road, you know? So I had a stretch on the street, on the highway, transit from like San Felipe, a little bit of from San Felipe south of there to Portecitas, and that section of road is notoriously potholed and gnarly, and I was more afraid of that than I should have been than the 25 miles of San Felipe sand whoops. You know, I did 25 miles of this. So, yeah, it was hard. But we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about you,
Bryan Olivas. A little bit.
Yeah. Quit trying to flip this around. So you grew up in Hemet.
Yep.
Yeah, you were into things, two-wheeled things, BMX, stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I actually started late. I didn't get a BMX bike until I was like 15.
Okay.
I rode my first pro contest at 16.
Okay, pro.
I didn't not anywhere close to winning or placing. Just entering a pro contest at 16.
Okay.
Just met the right people. A lot of guys that are better than me.
Who were those people?
Man, let's see. I can't even remember right now. Joey Marks, his name was White Snake back in the day. Corey Nastasio.
Oh, I heard him.
Andre Ellison. Just a bunch of older guys, and I was the young kid, and then Mike Lake and Lance Mosley. But I just kind of went in their little group, and they would be like, "Hey, do this," and I would just do it, and I would learn tricks like that, like crazy fast. And then all of a sudden, a year in, you're backflipping, toe whipping, everything, and it's sketchy and sloppy, but you're doing it. And they're like, "Hey, you can't ride these beginner contests anymore." I'm like, "Oh, I'm not winning them." He's like, "It doesn't matter. Nobody in those contests are doing that stuff." So start entering bigger contests. That just makes you try harder and get better faster.
Right.
And it just kept going. And by like 17, 18, I started getting a few sponsors, and I never thought BMX was going to be a career. I was lost in school. Like, what am I going to do? And sponsors were like, "Hey, here's some money. Wear my shirt. Here's some money. Wear my hat. Here's some parts." So I'm like, whoa, I could do this. I could ride my bike and make money. And so it just kind of kept going, and I took advantage of it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Where did that BMX career take you? Did you get to do more contests, do some traveling?
I did a lot.
How long did that last?
I would say 15 years total, like a good stretch of 15 years. I hated competing. It just wasn't. That was the job side of it. But everything's a job, right? Everything sucks as a job. You got to make it fun, and BMX is fun. So I just took that as it was, and I competed quite a bit, not placing really good. I think my best placing was like probably 5th, and in like pro contests and making a little bit of money. My money came from the sponsors and paying for trips and paying for this and that. And then I started doing shows, doing like little demos and stuff like that. And then there was probably like a year where I quit BMX. I hated everything. I had people telling me what I was supposed to wear, what I was supposed to ride, how I was supposed to ride, how I was supposed to look, and it was freestyle, and that was not freestyle to me. So I literally quit, dropped all my sponsors at the time, basically restarted, fell back in love with my bike, found new sponsors that just wanted me to ride my bike for bike riding, and luckily for me, social media started coming in, and now they're like, "Oh, you don't have to go to this contest, just post a backflip clip." Okay, I'd do that anyway, And so that opened up a whole door of freedom where now I was just focused on social media, and got new sponsors like Volume Bikes, Demolition Parts, Expedio Pedals. They were all just on board for the good time, not so much the first place guy, which that was more my alley. So that really sparked me up again.
Cool. You became more of an ambassador and not just pro athlete, but
right.
Lifestyle guy.
And I was still having sponsors pay me to just do that, which is great because that was unheard of at the time. If you weren't placing or showing up to contests, you're not making money. And so I don't know, I got lucky. I've always been super blessed with like meeting great people and having great sponsors and people liking me and wanting me to just continue these journeys that I'm on. So same with the Hooligan stuff. I have so much support from people. I'm like, okay, this is great. I love the team aspect of it.
Yeah.
So,
I'm a little bit older than you, a lot older than you, but growing up in BMX and skateboarding a little earlier than you, I can't ever tell you that I was super stoked on any athlete because he won a contest. I was always like, man, I like Steve Caballero because he got good style. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got cool graphics, and he happened to be a nice guy that I got to meet once or twice.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that formula has been resurrected, and brands see value in guys like you. Don't have a bunch of dumb tattoos. Every other word out of your mouth's not the F word. You're nice. You're talented. Talent only gets you this far, in my opinion. Talent,
for sure.
Like that's kind of like across the board. There's so many talented people, especially nowadays in all the action sports. Because dude, kids grow up with skate parks, ramps in their backyard, tracks in their front yard.
It's hard now.
Electric bikes from the time they're 3 years old.
Yeah.
So like, dude, everybody's talented, you know. And a lot of these kids don't know or don't care to become any kind of pro athlete with that talent. A lot of times, but it's the kids that stand out, that got good style, that are ripping from a young age, that, in my opinion, end up being nice to everybody and good. They don't sponsor hop. Oh, this is the new shot guy. This is the new shot guy.
I could not stand that.
Yeah, sponsor hopping's dumb, you know. And the people that do that, let me know how it works out for you, because sooner or later you're gonna end up working at the recycling center if you're lucky, you know, because even the recycling guys don't like that. But brands, again, that see value in guys like you that are out there, you know, blue collar guys. I know you're a blue collar guy. Yep. You work hard all week, and then you probably work harder to get to the race and race on the weekends.
Yeah. You got to work to play.
You know, that's more in line with what we do at Builtwell. So, you know, you're the kind of guy that we want to align ourselves with. So I'm glad that other people think that way, because just placing high at a contest or a race or something like that, sooner or later the whippersnapper is going to beat you no matter what you do.
I don't think I ever idolized somebody for winning a contest. I mean, definitely remember, you know, younger X Games like Dave Mira, but Dave Mira is such a household name, and it wasn't because he won X Games, because he won everything. Yeah. And he was, I mean, there was ads of him drinking milk. I need some milk, dude. Dave's drinking milk. You even see Tony Hawk.
It wasn't the milk.
Yeah, it wasn't. But like that, like you're saying, it wasn't a contest that put that name there for you. It was his style or his personality, and then everything just kind of follows behind it.
Yeah, Tony Hawk's always the example I give. I just gave that one on the Ravi and Clay podcast, and he was kind of nice to everybody. Andy was really good, you know. But again, the really good thing is just that gets you even Steven.
Yeah.
That's the starting point for most people. Everyone's good these days.
I remember being younger, like, oh, you can't teach talent. You can teach talent. If the kid or the person wants to reach that goal, they can be taught that talent. It just might be harder, but like you're saying, talent only gets you.
Yeah, and I mean, how many guys that we know, you know, I think in the motorcycle industry, it's pretty pervasive, where you have a guy that has a talent. So at 11 o'clock the night before, he throws his gear in a bag and drives to the race and gets third. You know, it's like, okay. Then there's a guy that doesn't have talent, and all week he's been training and riding and prepping his bike and checking his spokes and doing all the stuff, and he shows up and he's not as talented. Yeah. And he wins. And
he's only going to get better.
You know, because he had to work harder at it, you know. And man, I don't have a kid, but if I had a kid, I'd wish that they didn't have talent, because a lot of times it's a black eye. It's a hard thing to overcome, because you do that 11th hour prep. Yeah. You kind of phone it in and you get a B+, and you're like, it's good enough, you know, where, you know, if you had a kid and he was just, you know, you teach him just to be a bulldog at whatever he does. Yep. You know, grab hold and don't let go. You know, those guys in the long term seem to be, you know, the ones that stick with it and pull ahead. Definitely. You know, because when it's just kind of easy and they phone it in, it's sooner or later they get tired of it. You know? Yeah,
and I never had the goals of winning contests. I had the goals of once I started getting money and sponsors and stuff, I was like, okay, let's do this. This will be my job for a while. So my goal was to make that last as long as possible.
Cool. So, well, that takes perspective to know that you have something, you have a little bit of talent, you have a little bit of hard work because you grew up on a farm, maybe, you know, or grew up in Hemet, you know. What helped you give you that perspective? Is parents?
Definitely. I would say my mom. You said you
listened to your parents.
I listened to my mom. I listened to my mom, not so much my dad.
Yeah. What advice did she give you?
She said, just do what you want to do. It was, if you have a goal, reach your goal. Okay. Do what you have to do it. Obviously, you know, within reason, but just there was no reason you couldn't reach your goal. And a regular person's reasons to quit goals were not your reasons. So on paper, I turned pro at BMX at 16, 17. At 19, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. My doctor said, you have to quit BMX. My mom's like, you're not quitting. You've already gotten this far to your goal. Why would you quit? And I'm like, well, they said my life expectancy is going to be cut in half and it's dangerous and blah, blah. And she's like, so live a short, happy life. And I was like, wow, that's awesome. Like, my mom was rad.
So at 19, they told you got the sugars.
Yeah, no more sugar.
Yeah.
And I'm a sugar fiend.
Yeah.
Don't ask my wife. I love sugar. Ice cream.
And so you're supposed to just stop your life at 19 and just live in a little bubble and walk around with the test kit and
they said, you know,
only eat oatmeal and
an AC job at a desk, 9 to 5. That was my life that they wanted me to live. And
is that what you got?
No, I went harder. I went so much harder. When they said you're a diabetic, you're going to die sooner, you're going to this, you're going to that, all these, it was just negative. It was just negative. I'm like, okay, we're going to go hard now. Okay. We're going to just everything is out the window. Let's go. And I don't know if that was the best approach, but it definitely was fun, and I don't regret anything. So, and we're still here. We're still rocking, having a good time.
So now you're 35. You haven't died from the sugars.
Nope.
You've been up on the box a bunch.
Yeah.
You didn't get that AC desk job.
Definitely did not.
What job did you get?
So I did the BMX for a long time, and then, like I said, the passion for competing wasn't there. It never was. So it really started to burn on me. And, I ended up in Hawaii, doing some little contests and stuff. I met a lady there, and she introduced me to epoxy countertops and floors and stuff. And I did it, turned out great. And I was like, this is cool. And she's like, let's start you a business. And within 2 years, I had my own epoxy business, and it's been 10 years now, and it's keeping me busy, paying all my bills, paying all my hobbies, keeps my Hooligan bike looking nice and teal.
Yeah. So the floor coverings is what you do.
Yeah.
You travel all over the country doing that.
Yep.
You got a fancy sprinter.
Yeah.
You got some machines in the back. That's a hard job.
Yeah.
As
stressful.
You know, very stressful.
But
you
it's
have
very rewarding.
Time constraints and less than perfect conditions. And
I took the drive and the vision of goals from BMX to, not just to epoxy, but your own business, something you're building, and you can go as far as you want. And I think at like year 2 or 3, I was in a spot where I was making good money, and I kind of capped myself, and then started to go a little bit more and cap myself again. And then my wife actually was like, hey, business license, insurance, any kind of licenses, vans, machines. She's really opened up this huge thing for me, and now it's endless. Like now we have contracts, like you're saying. I've been to Nebraska, Colorado, just all these states to do floors.
Yeah.
I know there's a guy in Nebraska that does floors. Why are you calling me in California? Well, we like your work. Cool. I'm not complaining. I just want to know.
Yeah.
And I go. I don't say no to work.
So Chelsea made you get legit, get your paperwork straight. When you have insurance, you got a license, you can charge a little bit more. Yeah. It's not a handshake deal. They don't pay cash. You can report some of that money. When you report some of that money, you can buy a house. Did you just buy a house?
We did just buy a house.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you. That is a nightmare to go through right now.
It's always a nightmare, I think. I don't know if it's ever easy. I hear a lot of young people say it's impossible, it's hard, it's difficult, it's never going to happen.
It's not easy.
It's always been like that. I don't know any time in history when they just gave away free houses. But somehow some of these young kids got this message that they used to just give away houses free. I don't think they ever did. I don't know. Yeah. I've been buying houses for a minute. They were always expensive, but you did it and you fought through it. In my opinion, there's, it's one of the most worthwhile things you can do is buy a home and fix it up and control it and live in it and raise a family.
Just the feeling you walk into your house.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, this is cool. I could rip all these walls down and no one can say, anything except your wife, who's not going to be pumped. But no, it's super cool. Me and Chelsea both work super hard. Long hours, long days, and it's just worth it when you come home to your own place.
That's awesome. So, it's you, Chelsea, and Millie.
Yep.
Yeah. Tell us about Millie.
Millie
has the cutest dog. It's the biggest derp you ever met.
Oh my gosh.
She is a big, giant derp.
Yeah, she's a sheepadoodle.
Sheepadoodle.
The breeders said she was going to be like 40 pounds. She's like 85.
Yeah.
She thinks she's 40 pounds. Yeah. The biggest love ball, though. But the second you leave her alone, she's bored. She will chew anything. I just
those dogs like that.
I just lost like 10 pairs of heat waves and a brand new GoPro.
Oh yeah,
like a week or 2 ago.
God bless Millie.
Yep, you gotta love her. I was not happy, but
so funny.
She doesn't know the difference.
Yeah, Flynn used to have a dog that do crazy stuff. All my dogs are like that. Last night I got in bed. There's a big hole in my sheet because one of my dogs. You leave him alone, and he just starts doing this nervous little chewing of blankets, and he just eat a perfect hole like he's breaking out of prison.
Such weird habits.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird one.
But she'll like, I don't know, I've never met a dog that won't just eat food. Like you just give her food, she takes it and goes and drops it and stares at it in the corner and then like slowly eats it. And I'm like, dude, just eat the food. What are you doing? Yeah. Like I would eat that. I don't understand, but just weird habits.
Whenever I come home and my wife's working on your dog, my wife cuts dogs' hairs and she's a very cute dog. She's a very cute dog. That's cool. So you guys got a house now. You got your dog. No one can kick you out. That's what's the best part about your house is.
Yeah, I love it.
They're not gonna up the rent. They're not gonna kick you out, and you can do
Yeah, it could be loud.
Yeah, you can be loud.
I love that.
Yeah, you got place to put your tools and your
Yeah.
bikes and lock all that stuff up.
Yep.
So your business is doing good. Then, if you bought a house, you're doing all right.
Yeah,
all that paperwork that your wife made you do is working out.
Yeah, I guess she knew something I didn't know.
So, yeah.
I was
a lot of times women do.
Yeah, I don't like to admit it, but she's definitely keeps me in line. So
does that mean you're going to get out of this hooligan racing? What's next on Hooligan? Are you retiring? Or are you putting together a team?
No team, no retirement. Okay. I'll probably do it for a long time.
Okay.
I love it. I don't know what it is. It is so hard and not fun at times, and it just beats you down, but it makes you grab that person that you don't know is there sometimes and grit through things. So when you finish a race, it's just the most rewarding thing. So
you have finished some difficult races, the Mint 400, the Biltwell 100. You've told me some stories about the Mint. Tell me some Mint stories.
Let's see, the Mint. That was the first time.
Controls fall off right away on one, or the hill climb. What was the hill climb story you told me?
The hill climb was at a California 300 in Barstow. That was the gnarliest thing I've ever done. It was you couldn't even see the top of this ridge, and it was like switched back like 3 times. And the other guy, Jared, I was racing with, there's only 2 hooligans that race, and he tried to go up it 2 or 3 times, and he couldn't make it.
Did you let him go first?
We got lost on the course, so he ended up trying it first, and I don't know, I was still way back. I had gone around a mountain twice before they finally found me, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know. There's markers everywhere." And I made it to halfway pit, and the hill was right after. And he's already taking his gear off, loading his bike up, and he's like, I couldn't make it up the hill. He's like, "It'll be all right." And my buddy James Hill's there. He was pitting for me. And
Shout out James Hill. He's a bad hooligan racer. We're going to get him on the podcast too.
Dude's an animal on anything with the motor and 2 wheels.
He is an
animal. He's like, "Don't lie to him. Tell him how hard it is. He needs to know." And Jared's like, "It's not easy, dude. I don't know if you're going to be able to make it." So now I'm like, great, okay. But I love that. I love telling people, like when people say you can't do something or it's going to be hard, now I'm going to try that much harder. So I get to the hill. I can see the hill, and I hit a rock and swap before I'm even at the hill. Crash.
It's a good sign.
Yeah, break my front brake lever breaks off.
You don't need a front brake.
No, broke the hand guard. So that thing's flopping around now, and it's sharp, and I'm like, cool, that's going to impale me. That's great. Yeah. And I get to the bottom of the hill, and I have the brake lever in my pocket, and I'm like, okay, we can do this. So I put in first gear, and I just, jam, and I'm sliding. It's all just this loose gravel rock, and I bank off one side of the hill and bank off the other, and it's actually helping me go up, and I make it up to the top of the hill, and there's a spotter up there, and he's just like, "Yeah, dude, yeah, keep going." And I'm like, "Shut up, leave me alone." And I get to the top and take my helmet off. I throw up. It was just like the gnarliest thing I've ever done. Try to call James. I'm like, "Hey, I can't do a second lap without front brakes." Yeah. He couldn't answer, so I called my wife. I'm like, "Call James." And it was
get a front brake.
Yeah, get a front brake. Come back to the main pit, and then since Jared didn't finish and I was the only hooligan, they didn't make me do a second lap. Okay, which is cool. I was like thankful. Yeah,
because you didn't tap.
I did. Yeah, and so I finished that. That was I would have tried again. I would have gone for the second lap for sure. Yeah. There's no.
We can say that now because you have to.
In the mental state of it, I don't know. Yeah. I would have started the lap for sure, but going to that hill again would have been really rough. And that was probably one of the hardest things that I did. At the first Biltwell race, I wadded mile 4. The bike went end over end 3 times. It completely destroyed my bike. And that was pretty gnarly because I don't know how I didn't get hurt. Rich Silva was directly behind me. And you know how you tell stories like, "Oh, man, I was, in 3rd gear and I blah, blah, blah." And everyone's like, "Yeah, okay." I remember telling somebody this story. My bike went end over end, and they're looking at me like, "Okay." And Rich slides up behind me. "Dude, you were doing like 3rd gear, and your bike went end over end." I'm like, "See, I wasn't lying."
Somebody saw you.
Yeah, and
well, that's the good part about desert racing is that usually you can make up that story.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Really, you just fell over, but you could be like, "I was going in 3rd gear."
Yeah,
because no one's gonna see you because you're usually out in the desert by yourself, which is what makes it difficult because you're out in the desert by yourself.
I love that part of it.
Yeah,
I love it's hectic in the beginning, and it's people and the bikes and the rocks and everything's hitting you, and then 10 minutes into the race, it's silent. All you can hear is your motor. And it's like freedom. I don't know. I love it.
I'm definitely not a racer, but I kind of would prefer the desert scenario as opposed to being on the track and 100 people watching you, pointing at you, and watching you wad it up. Because I'm gonna wad it up no matter what. But I'd rather do it in the desert when no one's looking, even if that means no one's coming to help you either.
I take the Hooligan to the track all the time just to get a different perspective of riding, and it's fun, but it's definitely. I don't know if I'm used to it because of BMX and I had so many eyes on me all the time. It doesn't bother me too much, but there's a different feeling there.
Yeah.
You're more, I don't know. I feel like I'm so much more focused when I'm in the desert because there's nothing out there besides the desert and you. So that's all that matters at that point. And, the track, you got guys flying by you because you're on a Hooligan and you're rolling half the jumps and there's a tire going next to your head and then there's people over here staring at you and what's that? And what's that guy doing? And, it's just a different vibe, I guess.
Yeah. But that doesn't appeal to me very much.
It's not the funnest thing to go to the track, but it's definitely improved my riding on the Hooligan bike.
I bet. I mean, it's a little bit more of a controlled environment if there's such a thing for off-road racing. They pick the rocks out of the track, they water it. There's a spotter. You know what I mean? And you say, you're gonna hit that same jump or turn 3 or 4 or 10 times. Where in the desert,
you never hit the same thing.
You never do. I mean, you might come through the same area twice, but you know how it is. You're like, when I hit the jump this time, I'm going to do this. Then you come back to, I don't even know where that jump is. Yeah. I don't know where that turn is.
Did I go over the jump?
Yeah, did I go over it? That rock that got you the first time has now been spit out by the 50 guys that came behind you. So the desert, it's always changing. Yeah. It's always evolving, and it makes it uncertain and more difficult. I think that's why a lot of the guys in the desert really, they don't start to get super fast till they're your age, because they have a little bit of experience and they start to learn how to read the course. Yeah. Unless their dad's been taking them to the desert since they're a little kid. But I mean, some of the fastest guys in the desert, dude, they're not the whippersnappers. They're not 22-year-olds. That's who's fast at the motocross track. The guys that are fast in the desert, starting age 35. But this year, Biltwell 100, dude, the dude won. I think he was like 51 or 52.
Yeah, it was Mark, I think it's Gerloff is his last name.
Man, I never seen him before.
Dude walked on all of us.
Yeah, he's knocked your guys' wieners in the dirt, man. No chance. That guy showed up. He had a pro bike. His bike was just tough.
It was dialed in.
And then he was tough. And again, he wasn't a young buck.
And he rolled up to the line. There was a delay because someone had crashed or something. So I think there was like a 15-minute delay. And he rolled
up.
Like
a half an hour. It was somebody that wasn't even supposed to be on the track. I think. Crashed before the race even started.
He rolled up super late, threw his helmet on the line, talking to me and James. And
did you know him from before?
No, I never met him. We just introduced ourselves right there, and I'm like, cool, another guy in the class, gone. Yeah. Like, oh, I just met that dude. I guess we're never gonna see him again. Yeah. He just gone, no chance.
Yeah, and he stayed out in front the whole time.
Yeah, he killed it.
Yeah,
I love that. People are like,
that was cool. I think he raced a 450 like the year before. So he had raced it, but he obviously had desert experience.
Yeah.
Two-wheel experience. And again, 51 years old, he might have been a Superman, Iron Man, but he probably had a little belly fat, to be honest, but he just knew how to read the desert, and he had that experience.
And I think you told me right when I met you, the desert always wins.
Yeah, it does.
It really does. Like, you're not racing the other guys, you're racing the desert. It's you in the desert, so that's why I'm always pumped when I finish, because the desert really does always win. Like, it'll get you real quick.
Yeah, and you never know where everyone else is on the course. No. You're just truly riding your own race. You're only racing yourself in the desert. You could have been, you think I don't know. I think I'm cognizant of who's passing, and I saw James pass me, and man, you don't know. You could have been passed on later on when someone asked you, I passed you on my 450. It wasn't in the same bike, the same class. Yeah. Like, you don't know. No. You just got to go, do the best you can, be conservative, and try to finish and see where you line up.
I think the first year I did the Mint, that was the first time I ever really rode a Hooligan bike too. I got just thrown to the wolves, and I think there was only 8 guys in the class, and I was in the last, right? Like, I shouldn't have been doing that. And when I got lapped, so I'm counting, like, okay, this dude lapped me, this dude lapped me, this dude lapped me, Shoni lapped me because she's fast. A girl just smoked me on a Sportster. Okay, well, you go into the pit and you have your head down, you're drinking water. People are still passing you, and now someone passes you again for the second time. I'm like, wait a minute, and I was all over the place with my brain, so I stopped doing that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care where you're at. I don't care where I'm at. I'm just getting to the finish line. That's all that matters.
You got much more important things to think about than where you are.
Yeah.
In the stack, in the order, you just, like you said, you got to finish.
Yeah.
And someone could also pass you, and then they don't come back in for the next lap.
Yeah.
So you don't really know. So trying to play that game of counting cards, if you will, counting riders, counting racers, counting laps. It's just
it doesn't matter.
It's a losing battle, and again, you got other things to worry about. And we see it every year at the Biltwell 100 that dudes want to race to that first turn.
Oh yeah.
And then they wad it.
So many people
wad it up. It's like, dude, you just took yourself out. You have 25, 50, 75, 100 miles, depending on what class you're in, to make the pass, and you just blew it in the first 3/4 of a mile. That, and that's the young. It's always the whippersnappers that really don't understand desert racing.
Yeah.
I seen Mikey Firmoil out there, get passed by a few guys, and he just lets them go. And Mike is a desert racer. He races Baja all the time. He knows he'll reel them back in if they're still around.
Yeah.
Lap 3 or 4, if they're still around.
Yeah.
And most of the time, a lot of the time, if they're riding like that, they're not around lap 3 or 4.
That
so
fast pace doesn't last.
It doesn't.
And I don't want to say I start off slow. I'm like moderate, right? And then I'll get into a mode where I'll go a little bit faster, and then I'll get pretty comfortable, and I'll stick there, and then I'll bump it up again, and then something kind of happens, and you're like, okay, back off a little bit, but you find that section of speed that's perfect, and especially on your second lap, what terrain you're riding now, where the washes are, the rocks, and this and that, and you can keep your speed the whole time. And I feel like the consistency, I've like, that was my goal, is to be consistent on these things, and I think I'm doing a pretty good job at being consistent and just going the same pace and finishing.
You are. We've been involved in the Hooligan thing for a minute. In the very beginning, there was a lot of inconsistencies with just the bikes. Yeah. So you had some strong riders, but the bike was the weak point.
Yeah.
That's changed now.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, back to that guy that got, first at the Bill 100. Dude, his bike was, that was a machine.
Yeah, it was dialed.
There's no more throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. Like, guys know what works. Yeah. And so they're building these bikes. And your bike, I feel like, that thing, you probably built it 3 or 4 years ago now?
Yeah, it's been about 4 years now.
Yeah, when that thing came out, like, I was like, well, that's a machine. That was one of the first, I think, super over-engineered, well-built bikes that came out. And I think James helps you with a little bit of it, right?
Him, Steve from Till Death.
Yeah.
Steve just takes care of me so good. Everybody at Till Death is just, they're awesome.
Right. They're all right. Steve,
yeah, they're whatever. They smell weird, but
they smell funny.
They freaked me out so much in the beginning that your bike's gonna break. It's not gonna be you. It's gonna be your bike. This is gonna break. That's gonna break. Okay, well, let's fix that. So it got to the point where we were over fixing everything. I'm like, if it's gonna break, why are we not making this stronger?
Yeah.
Or why are we not changing this then? And it got to the point where every race the bike's great.
Yeah.
And okay, cool. But now you're to a point where everybody's bikes, 90% of the guys' bikes are like that. Yeah. So now you're to the point where you're racing the racers again instead of racing against your bike or trying to take care of your bike. Because you take one spill and this is bent and that's loose and it's hanging and like, okay, now I got to go slower because that's going to fall off. Well, it doesn't really happen. It does happen, but not as often as the stories that you would hear where foot pegs are falling off and your tires off the bead and where's my seat? My oil thing popped out because the duct tape's gone. It's they're so past that, and it's not crazy expensive either. Yeah, and there's a lot of things you can do. It
takes
yourself.
A little time.
It does. It takes patience. Yeah. If you got a buddy that can weld, James, you can have your bike however you want it. Yeah, and we've kept the bikes pretty simple. Yeah.
I think we swung when we started with ours. We swung towards the over-engineering stuff, and that's good. It helped us finish the race. But now looking back, there's a lot of that stuff on that bike that was redundant. And
how heavy is that one?
Heavy as hell.
It looks heavy, like just compared
to... So now I see what you guys are doing, and there's stuff that again we were just throwing stuff at the wall, figuring we don't want to break stuff, but there's some stuff we could have lightened up on.
Definitely.
Now that we've seen guys like you have the miles put down on the parts, so we know kind of what works. The formula has been refined.
It definitely has.
Before it was just like big and beefy and heavy, and now it's like you don't need all that.
You don't. And especially this past Mint, I forgot what class car they let go on our course the day before to practice. just chewed up the course. The dudes that had the heavier bikes were struggling because all the sand whoops were so deep, and you were just, swapping the whole time. Your front tire is just knifing, and it was rough. It was I had a bad race because I had some issues with my blood sugar, but there's a couple other boys that they have some weight on their bikes. The bikes will last; they'll go through anything, and they were like, "Dude, it was hard." I'm like, "Yeah, that's that extra couple 100 pounds. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Extra 40 pounds is a lot.
It's a lot, man. Yeah, these bikes are hard to ride regardless.
Yeah,
they really are. So putting more weight on there usually doesn't help you.
Yeah,
it especially if I imagine it seems like half the hooligans are pro and crazy, and the other half are very, very novice.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of middle ground.
It's
because it's hard to get just seat time on a bike like that. So a lot of the guys they might have come off a 450 and they're bad to the bone. But, man, it's hard to get seat time on that bike either because it's expensive, it's new, it's different. Even though the formula has been figured out, there's still not 50 of these bikes running around the United States. There's only 25 probably.
Yeah.
You got to see them on the internet and figure out, oh, yeah, you got to weld in.
And they're all different.
Yeah,
Every single one's different.
They're all a little different, so.
Same concept, completely different.
Yeah, so imagine you guys have had to refine them. That's probably helped.
I think something that helped me too was I never rode dirt bikes before the Hooligan. So
that probably does because it's
completely different.
It's completely different.
I didn't take habits from the dirt bike and put it into the Hooligan. I took habits from BMX, which I actually think helped me because how rough the Hooligan is. BMX, there's no suspension, so I'm used to the jarring and all that, and this, hanging on and just going and standing the whole time. I try to stand. We did the Parker 400, and that was 160 miles. I probably stood 140 of those miles, and it was just insane. My legs were completely gone, but I wanted to stand the whole time. I'm faster when I stand. You're not feeling every rock in your lower back.
Right, because you got 18 inches of suspension here before it gets to your back.
Exactly.
Where you only got 4 inches of suspension.
And, you have your tall seat, and you got your 16-inch shocks on the rear that they look great, but they don't work that great. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, they're great for the Hooligan, but your body feels everything.
Yeah.
So I try to stand the most.
Yeah, and you're not how much do you weigh?
A good day, I'm like 140.
Yeah, so you're
small.
Yeah, so it behooves you to have a little lighter bike.
Yeah. Picking it up is interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, when I raced in Nora, my commitment to myself was don't drop this because you ain't getting it back up.
Yeah.
And I didn't drop it once. And I knew I would have a hard time getting it back up. Bill dropped it one time in the riverbed when we were at the end of the day. He was having a hard time. Moeller, we've got it on camera. He dropped it downhill.
Oh,
dude, it took him like 12, 14, 15 minutes, stacking rocks, get the handlebars up, stacking rocks, taking your helmet off.
I learned that. Take your helmet off. If you know you're going to struggle, take it off right there because you're going to breathe better. You're not going to overheat. You're not going to deal with...
That's a good tip. That's a good tip. What other good tips you got for these guys?
Don't start this. No. I don't know. Have you ever ridden
Hooligan racing specifically?
If you've ever ridden a Sea-Doo, when you're not on the gas, you're out of control.
Yeah.
So when you're on the gas, it's straight. Always, always, always stay on the gas.
Okay.
Blow through things if you can. Obviously not rocks, but if there's bushes or cactuses or whatever, and you're going to go through them.
It's a rhinoceros. It'll plow through it.
It will go.
Yeah, it'll go.
It will climb any hill as long as you're on the bike.
Yeah.
It's a tractor.
It
will not stop. You have to be on the gas. That saved me more than anything.
As soon as you let off the gas, just like you said,
you're either down or it's going over here, it's going over there. You're bouncing off something.
You lose control. The bike goes where it wants to go at that point.
Yep.
And even when you're on the gas, you don't have all of the control.
You don't, but
it goes have more.
Up. Yeah, it tracks. And you can pick a spot, like especially going up a hill, and you're all over the place, and you're on the gas. You can pick a spot where you're like, okay, I can get to that spot and stop. Yeah. But you got to be on the gas to get to that spot. So as long as you can make it to the spot you pick, that's what I've done, at least.
You can plot your next move.
Yeah. Then you can, if you still want to keep going, you see that spot and you see like, okay, a next spot and just keep going. And then you're finally now you're not up a hill, you're on a flat and you can regroup. Yeah. And you're like, okay, breathing again, trying to figure out, listening to noises on your bike. Everything sounds the same crappy as it did before, not new crappy. So you're good. Keep going.
It's scary listening to your Harley motor. Like, you ride with your helmet off. You're like, is that always like that?
Yeah.
You got to just tune it out. You know?
You have to ignore it. That has always been very helpful for me. I've always been just really mentally strong. So I go into a race at the finish line. The start is my finish. I've already finished in my brain. So there's really nothing you can throw at me that's going to stop me besides bike failure. If the bike breaks, then that's out of my control. I can't, that's just nothing you can do. That's just your day of racing that day. And that's okay. Desert racing happens that way. It's not your race.
Yeah.
And if you lose, it's not your race. If you win, it's your race. Congratulations, you did great. But I hate how people are like, oh, I don't want to race because I'm not going to win. Or I'm not fast. Who cares?
Yeah.
Go race. Everyone's here to have a good time and race.
Or the guys at Sandbag, they're racing amateur, novice, or whatever. It's like, man, you won that like 2-3 times.
Yeah.
Go to I'm not going to even place. Who cares?
Yeah, why are you here then?
Back to the beginning of your story, you started riding with Corey Nastasio. Like, you don't have a choice. Get good, dude, or we're leaving you here.
And like I said, those dudes were so big at the time, they didn't even, I was in their little circle of BMX, but they didn't know who I was. You know what I mean? I was that kid that showed up at the skate park every Saturday at the same time they did. They didn't even know, they didn't learn my name until, years later, where I knew everything about them because I was a super fan at 15, and now I'm sitting next to this dude on the roll-in, and they don't know that I'm terrified, and they're like, hey, what are you going to do? And I'm like, oh, I think I want to try a backflip. Oh, yeah, just pedal super hard and do this and do that. I'm like, I was joking. And then all of a sudden you're trying to backflip because you have all these dudes telling you what to do, and you're like, that sounds like it's right. So, after that, I took everything I've experienced in my life that way. If someone's better than you, listen to them.
Yeah.
So when I went to the Hooligan stuff, I like Mikey Virus.
Ooh, shout out.
Dude is
baddest mofo.
Animal. He would tell me stuff.
Where's Mikey? He's kind of dropped off. He's raising kids.
He's been racing BMX a lot.
Oh, hell yeah?
Yeah. I think they just did a BMX thing in Vegas. Him and his 2 kids, I believe, came home with like 30 trophies.
Yeah.
They're just killing it.
I'm not surprised.
He's an animal.
Yeah, he's also nice.
He's very nice. Very nice. Very knowledgeable. Very willing to help.
Yeah.
But when he would tell me stuff, I would just, okay, sure, yeah. I'm going to do it. And then it worked. I don't know why people fight that so much. It makes you harder on yourself. So.
Well, it's pride and ego.
Yeah.
And fear. It's always fear.
Fear is your biggest competitor.
Fear that someone's right and you're wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know why. When you're out in the desert, you got a lot of time to think about all the things you messed up.
Yeah.
I'd rather cut those down to a minimum.
I've never talked to myself so much until I did a desert race. Just, oh, man. Okay, you're good. Oh, no, crap. Oh.
So who are some of the younger guys that are slower or newer novice guys that you're helping then? If
I don't want to say
BMX guys helped you get started and pump you up a little bit, who are you? Because you should be repaying the favor.
Definitely. I don't want to say guys are slower. I
don't want to put it the wrong way.
I don't want to, because I don't think I'm that fast. I just think I'm consistent. Sorry, my alarm keeps going off.
You know how to work an iPhone?
I don't. I turned it off, but
throw that thing out.
I've been riding with. I try to ride with anybody that wants to ride. Nobody wants to ride Hooligan bikes.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to load them up.
They're not fun.
Nobody wants to go out. You know what I mean? Go out to the desert. Nobody wants to do anything. So if someone's like, "Hey, let's ride Hooligan," I'm there. Jason Castro, he's a really fun guy to ride with.
Okay. Where's he from?
I believe he lives in Long Beach. Another dude, Paul, that just got into it. He his bike looks like straight out of Mad Max. It's so gnarly. It's so heavy. He's one of the guys that struggled a little bit at the Mint, but eager, willing to go. And he's a little bit older than me. There's just a lot of different. It seems like people are just coming out of all directions. I'm gonna shut this off. Sorry, the alarm keeps going.
I remember my first iPhone.
My wife just had surgery, so I have her meds on.
Oh, you gotta make me feel bad.
On my alarms to make sure she doesn't miss anything.
You gotta make me feel bad.
No, but I feel like so many dudes are coming out of different sports and wanting to try something new, and a lot of people are going to the Hooligan stuff, which is cool.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
Why do you think they're attracted to it? Because it's difficult?
I've had a lot of people tell me that I make it look easy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not.
It's not easy.
At all.
It's like riding a wheelbarrow with no front tire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very difficult. And the wheelbarrow's full of cement.
Yeah.
Like, and you get to a certain point, it's going over.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't stopping it. You ain't foot dabbing.
Nope.
I don't care how strong you are.
Let it
At some
go.
point, you just let it go.
Yep.
You let it go. I learned that the very first time we test rode that thing. It went out from underneath me, and I just got my bell rung, and it was so quick. And I'm like, oh, I cannot. At some point, I can't stop it.
Yeah.
I just got to get out of the way.
Yeah, it's and like I said, me being 140, I've just tried to save a few times, and it will like just whip me to the floor, and you're like, what? Why did I do that?
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, I have no chance of stopping that thing.
No chance.
Nothing. So I'm just like, okay, we'll see how it looks after, but everything's replaceable.
All right, so you got some whippersnappers that you try to ride with, whoever's into it.
Yeah.
It's been hot. Summertime's kind of not the season,
I'll still ride.
Unless you go to the track or something.
I'll go any time of day. I will sweat. I will deal with it. I love riding that bike. I don't know what it is, but I feel like that separates people also.
Yeah, I mean, it is desert racing.
Yeah.
You're not going to always, desert racing is going to be cold as heck in the morning and hot as heck in the afternoon. Yep. You're going to get all of it,
The second minute, I started with the hoodie.
Yeah.
Threw the hoodie off. Second lap, picked the hoodie up because you're not trying to litter in the desert.
Yeah.
Stuck it under my butt and made it to the pit with the, you know what I mean? Like, just to bring the hoodie back. But, like, it was 28 degrees in the morning. And then by the end of the first lap, it's 80.
Yeah.
You're in Vegas.
Yeah.
And it's drastic. And that really affects your riding.
It's really hard to prepare for that.
Yeah. And going back to me being a diabetic, the heat makes my blood sugar go up and down. It exhausts you. And the last minute, that's what happened with me. Like, first 20 minutes, my blood sugar dropped like crazy low. And my adrenaline was so high, I couldn't tell. Your body has warning signs when your blood sugar goes low. You start to sweat, you get shaky. My adrenaline was so high, I didn't feel anything. And I was going through a whoop section, hit a rock that was buried in the sand, and the bars ripped out of my hands, flipped over the bars, like landed on my back. I was fine, somehow. And I get up and I'm like dizzy. And I'm like, holy crap, my blood sugar's low. And I couldn't pick up my bike. Another Hooligan rider, Jack, stopped, helped me get my bike up. I had to sit there for, 15 minutes, eat some sugar, and like feel your life come back. But then at that point, you're so drained now. When your blood sugar drops, it's like running a marathon in itself. Now you're sitting in the desert with a Hooligan bike, and you're like, crap, I'm, 20 minutes into this race that's going to take me 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I get back to, I did, the first pit, and I get back to the main pit. My wife comes over. What's wrong? Your blood sugar's messed up, huh? You're going really slow. And I'm like, I'm going slow?
Damn.
And she's like, I know that you can ride faster than this. And I'm all over the place. Like, I've never drank alcohol before, but that's what I assume what being drunk feels like.
Yeah.
And I'm saying the dumbest stuff. And she's crying, literally tears. Please don't do your second lap. Please don't do your second lap. And I have a Dale Earnhardt patch on my seat. It says, praise, hail, raise Dale. And I just slapped my seat. I'm like, I'm doing it for Dale. And I took off, and I feel like a jerk now. But, like, I didn't know what was, I was so out of it. That race took me 6.5 hours to finish just because I was so drained. But there was no way I wasn't going to finish.
Yeah. That was the Mint?
That was the Mint this year, yeah.
So tell me about some of your Mint finishes. Barstow 300, Bill 100. What's the best place you ever got at the Mint?
The Mint, I want to say I got 6th or 7th. I think my second year. The Mint's been a tough one for me. I've always, I'm 50-50. I've finished 2 and I've not finished 2.
They don't give you a lot of time.
Yeah.
Has that increased a little bit?
Yeah. It's, that race should take like 4 hours. Yeah. That's a 4-hour race that's a good day.
Good clip.
But I don't know. The bike failure has been 2 of my races. And then the other, like the first time I finished, I was on a stock Sportster front end still. So don't do that. Just go straight to dirt bike front ends like Honda, because it just knifes. The stock Sporty's not where it's at.
No. It's not.
Yeah, it's just not fun. And then this one, finishing this one, I don't want to blame it on. I have no excuses it wasn't my race day, but my blood sugar, my diabetes caught up with me that day. That's just what it is. It's my life. That's what I deal with. Parker 400, I got first.
Yeah.
And people are gonna be, oh, there's only 2 guys in your class. Okay, so what?
Yeah.
You didn't show up then. You could have showed up.
Hey, how do you win a race?
you finish first.
First, you get in the gate.
Yeah,
you know,
you show up, you sign up,
and most people can't even do that. So they could just show up. From
I can't stand
couch.
That.
There's only 2 of you.
There's only 2.
Yeah, if you weren't one of the 2, shut up.
Yeah, and the other guy, he's my buddy. He started in front of me, and I finished 45 minutes before he did. I was on a good one that day. I felt great. The course was fast, 3rd, 4th gear the whole time.
That's what you said.
The washes.
I kind of know that area. It's beautiful too.
Yeah, it is. So I mean, you're in these canyons, and I clicked the bike in neutral and just revving it because it's just echoing. Like I was having fun, you know. It was cool. But like you were saying earlier, you never hit that same spot of a course. At the 400,
it's hard.
There was like 100-foot boulder section that I was dreading, and you could see the end of it. You're like, okay, I only have to go. It's straight. I don't have to go right there. First lap, 2 rocks, pinched front tire right in between 2 rocks. Went over the bars. Bike flopped over in the middle of the rocks, so I get it up. Sat there for 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Regrouped. Second lap, see the rocks again. I'm like, okay, go hard left because those rocks are on the right. On the left, hit a rock, bounce me to the right. Same exact rocks. Stuff the tire over the bars again. Same exact spot. I was beside myself. I was like, are you kidding me? I was pissed. And this time the bike high centered itself on another boulder. And so now I think I cracked my case or something on the motor because it's all just there and everything was fine. But it took me probably half an hour to get the bike out of the rocks. Just up. I took my helmet off, took my bag off, took everything off. It's like I was camping.
And Brian's one of the holdouts he runs a clutch, a regular stock clutch. Not an Otto clutch, not a Recluse.
Yeah.
So that's
Screaming Eagle clutch.
It's even harder. That's a lot of clutching.
Once you get, especially when you start in the rocks, after you just fell in the rocks.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get that mojo back, right?
Yeah, it is, and it wasn't even halfway through the rocks. It was quarter way. So now you're like, crap, man, I gotta pop this clutch up on top of the rocks again, and you got to keep going.
Try to get in a second.
Yep.
Try to keep moving.
Once I got out of the rocks, in my mind, race was finished. I was done. I'm like, cool, I already made the finish line because the next 30 miles was fire roads and washes, and I'm like, I can go fast on that all day. But man, there's always a section of a race that will humble you quick,
right?
Especially on the sporties, right? There's no joke. I don't care how good of a rider you are. I don't care how good of a hooligan rider you are. You're gonna get bit. It's gonna happen, and you have to deal with it. So,
what about Bill 100? Have you done there?
First year didn't finish. That's when I flipped over. I ended up doing 2 laps with bent bars. And then second year, I got 3rd in novice. 3rd year, I got 1st in novice. And you told everybody I sandbagged.
Yeah. I think you did.
Yeah, probably. I was having a good time. That was the first race I ever did on rear controls. So that was a huge thing for me. It felt great to be not on mid controls anymore. And then this past year at the Biltwell, same thing. I didn't completely get over what had happened at the Mint with my blood sugar, because when stuff happens like that, it kind of sticks around a little bit. It can last a few months of what it does to your body. So going into the Biltwell this year, I didn't feel great, and I had told everybody I'll do 1 lap and we'll see where I'm at, how I feel, and I felt good. I came in 4th on the first lap, 4th or 5th, I think, and it wasn't there. I'm like, this isn't worth it for me to be sick out in the middle of the desert somewhere. So I called it, and I felt good about that. I didn't have any regrets about it. I got to sit and pit for all the boys coming in, and a few other hooligan dudes broke some parts. I took parts off my bike and put them on their bike so they could finish. It's just like a big family.
Yeah.
I love that about this. It's everyone takes care of each other. You have a few guys that are a little bit shy or kind of want to do their own thing, which is totally fine. It's an individual, selfish sport, just like BMX. But when you get that group of family or dudes that are literally taking parts off their bikes for you to go finish your race, that says something. So Biltwell's been probably the funnest race of the year. I look forward to that one more than anything because that one's not so racy. I don't know how to say that. When you go to the Mint, you're in the way.
We're not racist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bikes are in the way at the Mint. They want trophy trucks.
Yeah, I know. They, and I like the Martellis. Those are my buddies.
Yeah.
but yeah, the bikes are an afterthought.
Yeah.
Especially the hooligans.
Right. We're just a circus show. We're there for, and well, what is that? This guy's crazy. You hear that this guy's crazy, and we are crazy, but okay, so what?
Well, we're racers.
Yeah.
You're racing.
When you go to Biltwell, that's your event.
Yeah.
I feel like there's more hooligan style bikes at the Biltwell than you'll never see that many bikes anywhere else in a gathering. Yeah. So that's so cool to me. And it's a party, it's camping, it's family time, it's everything you can think of.
Hey, you can bring Millie.
Yeah, Millie loved it. She walked around with the Biltwell shirt the whole time.
Yeah, Millie's a pimp.
Yeah, it was a good time. Even not finishing, dude. I loved it. We hung out, barbecued, got to see all of our friends. It never disappoints.
Yeah, that is what makes it fun. The race is kind of the cherry on top, I think.
It is.
Should be the. Oh, we came out and saw all my buddies from all over the country, and then we raced.
Yeah, we all love riding, so that's why we're there.
Where's this hooligan stuff headed, man? Is it there? Is it peaked? Is it, the bikes are sussed now? We got real athletes like you and some other guys, competing at a high level. Like,
I don't know.
We got a few, at least on the Western United States, we got a few races that are like kind of like a little bit of a series-ish.
Yeah.
I
think it's coming up, honestly.
Yeah.
It seemed like I was not involved in it when it was at its peak, is what I've been told and what I've seen. So I felt like I got in it when it was pretty low, and it's not going up fast, but I feel like it's growing because now like the Martellis are throwing the unlimited series. There's a whole series for hooligan dudes now.
Yeah.
You can get points, you can win a championship, which is awesome. That drives people to do stuff like that. Then you're getting races on the other side of the country, and you're getting races here, and you're getting races. I feel like there's just more and more popping up, and on the social media side of it, my Instagram went through the roof. Like I'll get at least one video a month that hits 1 million views, which some people that's not a lot, but for a BMX dude that had 10,000 followers at the time, that's huge. Like I'm getting so much more engagement on Instagram. How do I build this bike? How do I make these foot pegs? And I will tell you right now, I answer every single message because if you're really interested, I want you to ride this bike. I want you to go try this. Even if you hate it, you did it. And some people love it, like me, like get hooked. So I get messages almost every day. Pictures of bikes that look just like mine. Oh, you ran the Honda fender on the rear end. Like you're the first person to ever do it. I'm doing that now. I'm like, well, that's not why I did it. I just thought it looked cool. Like I just didn't want the droopy, normal style fender. I just didn't like that. I like the sharp edge, and it just looked a little bit more mean to me. So now you see 30 bikes with that Honda fender, which I think is rad. So I feel like there's a different wave coming of new people that are at least trying to try it.
Yeah, well, I think you guys have trailblazed a little bit. You might have not been one of the first guys, but you're early adopter. And again, you help push the bikes to be standardized. Like, this is the front end we run. This is the tail section we run. This is the oil bag modification.
Yeah.
And it works because you've been up on the box. You win some races. You got some high finishes.
That definitely lets people.
They're a little less intimidated when they know, okay, that part of the puzzle's been figured out for me. All I got to do now is figure out all the rest of the stuff, which is actually very difficult. They don't know that yet. But that gets them out on the course, though, or in the desert. It gets them out there riding and lets them decide if they do want to pursue it. You got the bike sussed. Okay, the bike's still going to be very, very difficult to ride, but it's as good as it can be. You know,
definitely.
Because we've got miles and miles and miles and tons of guys that have built them now saying, this is the formula. So got that part sussed. Go out and ride that thing and see if it's something that you can learn to do.
Including you, we rode complete crap. Yeah. And made it good. So now these guys get to come in and ride straight to good. Yeah. And like you don't know how good you got it. Like you don't have to run mid controls and kill your lower back. Go straight to rear controls. Yeah. Get the flex bars that take up 10% of whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. Every little thing adds up, and it makes you get to the finish line. Yeah. And a lot of these guys will, at least that are messaging me on Instagram and Facebook and stuff, they're going straight to that package, basically, if you want to say it that way. And, I love my bike. It's so much fun. Like, yeah, that's the point. It should be fun. And even if you don't go race it, go ride it. Yeah. Every time we go ride dirt bikes, I bring the Hooligan bike, and all my buddies, why you bring that thing? I love this thing.
Man, Ed Subius, shout out Ed Subius, the Faction Moto. We had a little ride. adventure bike ride. We started right here at my shop, and we had 3 Hooligan bikes come. You know,
Yeah.
Like, it was awesome. We rode a bunch of street, and then we rode a bunch of off road.
So cool.
Those guys, you know, they trailered them or trucked them here because they're not great on the street, you know, for too long. And man, 3 out of like 35 bikes. That's kind of a high percentage.
Yeah,
you know,
that's cool.
That's, you know, close to 10%.
I've definitely seen an increase in hooligans lately.
And they were, like you said, they were dialed little machines. You know, they were real riders, racers.
It's cool to see that. It's cool to see the rat rod looking dude show up to races that you're like, there's no way that bike's making it, and it makes it because they just didn't clean it. Yeah. And then you see the pristine bike over there, and you're like, that thing's fast and it's slow and it doesn't make it. But then you can always just tell, like you're saying with the Mark's bike at the Biltwell, that thing was dialed.
Yeah.
And that's not taking away from his riding. He's an amazing rider.
Yeah.
He walked on us, but his riding and his bike combined.
Yeah, what was his last name?
Gerloff?
Mark
Gerloff. I believe I'm saying.
Where's
Sorry if
from?
I'm saying it wrong. I don't know where he's from.
Yeah, he was on it, dude. He was a cool dude. And
he
his bike
messaged
was
me
beautiful.
like a week ago about the Big Bear Grand Prix that we're doing.
So you guys are riding that this weekend?
That's on Saturday, yeah.
Well, tell me about that.
Oh man, I just watched the video on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I would rather just show up and not see course previews. They said there's go arounds and stuff. There's just some big jumps. There's some log sections. But I mean,
it's like a closed course or it's like a trail ride. I don't understand.
They carved a course out up in Big Bear
at the ski resort.
At the ski resort, and you go up.
Okay, that's gonna be gnarly.
Yeah, it's cool. It's definitely you can go on YouTube and watch the. They did like one lap right after they barely cut it out, so the track wasn't really finished, but it looks cool. It looks really fun. Can't beat Big Bear, you know.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to ride there?
Weather will be good.
Yeah, it'll be great. And I think they don't have a hooligan class, so we entered like the post vintage or something. I don't know, but we go first in the morning, 8 a.m, which is cool.
That's actually an awesome time to start.
Yeah. No other bikes on the course. Yeah. We're going to go first, so we're going to get the best course of the day. Yeah. Good weather.
Well, who's racing? Who do you know that's going on Hooligan?
Just as of right now, me and Mark trying to get James on board.
James Hill, why don't you show up? Come on, man. That
come on,
dude's
James.
bad. He's sandbagged.
This dude
Yeah.
tells me to enter every race. Come on, we're doing this, we're doing that. And then the race comes, oh, I got to work, dude.
Yeah.
I got good luck. Yeah. Like, what? He's only done it to me like once or twice, but no, he's insane. I have a poster in my garage of him at the Mint, power wheeling through some rollers, and his eyes are closed. Yeah. Like, just full wheelie, eyes are closed in the goggles. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm over here struggling, and you're just, eyes are closed, doing wheelies.
I've ridden with him, and by ridden with him, I mean we left at the same time. And then I saw him at the end of the at the end of the ride with a stick through his gas tank because he was going so fast.
I heard the story.
You know, but
he said he put like his glove in the hole or something.
I think like a rock, a glove, and some black tape. You know, and he rode his bike down the hill. But
I say he's fast on 2 wheels. He's fast on everything. Side by sides, he kills it.
So when are you guys getting a side by side team? Seems like that's the next step, right?
I'd be down. Yeah. James, let's get it going.
Yeah.
He's got the hookup, so.
Yeah, that's what James builds them, right?
Yeah, that's what he does. IMG Motorsports.
He serviced ours recently.
He kills it.
Fixed takes care of after Josh broke it.
Yeah.
Yeah, James is a good dude. So yeah, who's fast? James Hill, fast. Who else is fast?
Tyler Valentek's fast.
Tyler's all right,
dude.
Let's be honest. I just think he gets lucky.
And he's so nice at the same time.
Yeah, he's all right. None nicer than Tyler.
Yeah.
None funnier.
No. Such a good dude.
When he calls and there's a picture of him in overalls with like 5 corn dogs in his mouth, that's the best profile pic you can have.
He's an animal. Jeff Brewer.
Jay Brew. Yeah, he's a guy that's managed to like dial it in.
Yeah.
He can ride.
He can ride. He's got bike control. I remember a few dudes talking about him before the Mint, and they're, he's a stunt guy. I'm like, dude, your bike control transfers. You can control your bike. You can control your bike. That's like when people complain about other people, you're scared. They're a threat to you now.
Yeah.
So I took that as, you're scared of racing with Jeff. Yeah. Where I'm like, if you're faster than me, great. I'm gonna learn from you. I'm gonna watch what you're doing.
He's just had to refine it a little bit. You know, he's been a wild man for so long.
Yeah.
But he has a family now. He's getting more focused, more dialed. I see him helping a lot of the younger guys, you know, which is awesome. And yeah, you should be afraid of Jeff Brewer.
Yeah, he's a beast.
He's probably the guy to worry about next year at the Bill 100.
Yeah,
he's got the bike stuff figured out now.
Yeah, he took a spill this year.
Yeah, got his bell rung.
I pulled up next to him. I'm like, "You good?" And he's like, "Yeah." I shut the bike off because I couldn't hear him. And he goes, "Collarbone." In my head, I'm like, "So you're good?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Well, you're talking and you're standing and your bike's up, so you're good enough. You know, like you're not laying in a ditch, which you know that's a good sign." And ended up he broke his collarbone and he hit his head pretty good. But he's a tough dude. He posted something the other day, and I wrote him. And I said, "I'm not on your level, but we are built different. Like, we are definitely built different."
Oh, dude, that dude's had every injury. Times 100. When he'll like be driving through town delivering something, you know, because he moves people and stuff, and he just show up, and he's way too young to have like the big blown out ankles with like you know, but he has them when he has like when he's not wearing socks, and you see all his leg injuries, you know, like, oh, your legs are mangled, you know. So, and you're not that old, but yeah, he's here
for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah,
that's just what it is.
I hope he slows down enough to be here a little bit longer because he's gotten to be a good friend of mine. I like Jeff Brewer.
You can tell he's just a solid dude. Also,
yep, he is.
There's a lot of really good good guys in this. Rich Silva, he's been around in it for a while.
Yeah,
the good times crew. They're all those dudes are great. I really like them. They welcomed me like family in the beginning. Same with you guys. Everyone from Builtwell just welcomed me with open arms. I didn't know if it was. Sometimes I question it with like the BMX background, like, oh, this dude rips on a bike, like let him in, or it's just like no one else is dumb enough to ride these Hooligan bikes with us. Like he's part of us now.
It was that.
Yeah, probably.
I never even heard you on a BMX bike.
Not a lot of people have.
Glenn might have, but I haven't. I quit paying attention at Matt Hoffman.
It's a good place to stop.
Yeah.
BMX used to be a lot cooler.
It ain't gonna get no better.
No.
I'm just kidding. I've always been a fan. And
it's wild.
That's part of my story too. BMX and all that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're probably gonna wrap it up. It's been a good pod with you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Look forward to seeing you racing out on our little race coming up next year.
Probably not gonna ever miss one, honestly.
We look forward to seeing how you do this weekend at the Big Bear thing.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
I like watching you kill it at life with your business and teaching all the youngsters.
Appreciate that.
How to do this. They need a little bit of hand holding, especially now. You know, I think it's more important than ever, you know, that you kind of help pass the torch.
Yeah.
Because you're at that stage in your life, you're young enough that you can those guys still identify with you, but you're old enough that you have a little bit of experience to pass on. You know, when you're young and dumb, there's nothing to pass on.
Nothing matters, yeah.
And then when you're old, you kind of lose the tolerance for youngsters anyway. You know, you get to be my age, you're like, I don't got time for you. You're cranky. Yeah. I'm cranky, and you annoy me. But you're in that middle spot where you could still help those kids out. So I hope you're doing some of that.
Definitely. I love introducing anything to – still with BMX too. I ride BMX quite a bit, and I love riding with younger kids that just want to learn to ride. I could teach you, literally you, a backflip on a BMX bike in an hour. If you listen to me, dude,
Glenn, cut that part out.
Give me an hour.
I don't need people knowing that.
It just goes back to listen to what someone's teaching you.
Yeah.
It's so easy. People fight it.
Yeah. Well, males, that's our
it is.
It's in our DNA to fight it.
Especially against your wife.
You see females go to like a first time rider course, and the instructor tells the female, do this, and do this. And they do it. And they're really good right away.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen my wife do that we go shooting, took a class, the instructor tell her, do this, and do this. And now she's like a dead eye.
Yeah.
Because, and guys are always like, no, this is how I do it. It's like, well, why are you?
It must be something with girls, because Chelsea can shoot anything.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Yeah. Like,
oh, can
my
I?
My wife too.
Don't make them mad now.
Don't make them mad. So.
Good stuff.
All right. Well, cool. Wrap it up. Thanks for coming out. Yeah, look forward to watching you get rad out there.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, Brian. Catch you on the next one.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for listening to another episode of the Parts and Labor Podcast brought to you by Builtwell. You got any feedback? You got any questions? Send us a voice recording or an email at pod@builtwellinc.com. That's pod@builtwellinc.com.